And it was all basically about the fight over the oil that the tribe of Asher is basically sitting on. Really, Asher is supposed to be, that's supposed to be damn near the richest tribe in Israel, man. But they don't own that because they under the curse. They're in slavery just like the rest of their fellow brethren of the tribes, man.
They were sitting on that land for so long, and then Esau came over there. Yeah. You know, Esau researched, digged here. Oh shit, they got land over here. Yeah. You know, okay, if you sell us this land, you know, X, Y, and we'll give you this, and is the rest history.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 7, their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak lawfully. They set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth. Therefore his people return hither, and waters of a full cup are wrung out to them. And they say, how does the Most High know? And their knowledge is in the Most High. Behold, they are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches.
Yeah, but how do they increase in those riches? Was that Sirach 10 and 8? Because of unjust, because of, yeah, get that, Sirach 10 and 8. This is how they increased their riches. Sirach 10 and 8.
Ecclesiasticus, Sirach, chapter 10, verse 8. Because of unrighteous dealings,
Esau is going to have to admit this is how they got their empire, man. You got it off of rape, robbery, and murder. That's how you got everything that you have. It wasn't because you worked hard. You're just such an excellent people, and you were so noble, and you just knew how to get it. No, man. You went out and slaughtered people to get it. Hey, we can't forget Cristobal Colon, his so-called day is tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know? We can't forget about him. When he came over to the Caribbean, and he basically just straight up slaughtered them, man. You know, he enslaved the Tainos down there, and he became a governor over there. And when he did that, he put them in slave labor where they had to, you know, they had to go into mining. Yeah, and if they didn't come up with a quota, he would torture and mutilate them, man. You know, that's what he was doing to those Ephraimites down there, man. You know, we can't forget about that. I don't know, brothers gonna go in on that tomorrow, man. They probably lessons going up today. We can't forget about that. You know.
I had a scripture that Brother wanted.
Yeah, let him finish this one.
Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches gotten by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
Yeah, and that's why the Lord's going to snatch this kingdom from you and give it to the children of Israel, man. All right? This is why you're going to lose your kingdom. Hey, the way you set it up, the scriptures say, woe to you that build a town with blood. You built your whole empire with blood, so guess what? It's going to go down with violence.
That's right.
Okay? It's going to go down with violence, man. Spirits is active, boy.
We can't even let it in.
I know. Spirits is active.
I got something to go.
But this is part of, you know, Esau's shameful history. So this devil came front, act like he was all great, like, oh, let's make America great again. How was it ever great? When how it was established, it wasn't great.
Right. No, because they rewrite in the Bible where it said, you will offer yourselves unto your enemies. Everybody shit it like that now, changing the narrative. We didn't ask how we was living good in the west coast of Africa where we flee Roman persecution. We enjoyed ourselves, living off the fatness of the land and everything. It was cool. You showed up and began to put us on them ships unwillingly. It wasn't like, hey, let's go on a little cruise. No, we didn't want to go with you. You took us captive on them ships, brought us over here and put our ass to work, sold us, and so on and so forth.
Hey, this place before they came over here, this place was
Paradise.
it was like a paradise out here, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, the tribes were going off, but the land itself was paradise, man. You know, it was fruitful. It it was real clean, you know. Now look at this fucking place, man. It's concrete jungle, city upon city, man.
No more trees.
He would build. He chopped down all the trees to build up more caves for himself.
Right. That's literally what he did.
Just heap rocks on top of
Yeah,
rocks.
yeah.
And get rid of the oxygen of the earth.
The filters of the air.
Yeah.
Just getting rid of it.
This motherfucker crazy, man.
I'll bring this right quick. Baruch chapter 3, verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, to be subject to payments, according to all the iniquities of our fathers which departed from the Lord Yahweh, our power. Yep, and so
This day, yeah.
we're still in captivity. That same captivity, the brother that read in the curses, that the brother read over there, hey, we're still involved in that every day. We're no more freer than we were getting on the slave ship, man. Silly situation right now.
It's a fearful thing.
Yeah, man.
Man, that's the plague of the heart.
Yeah. Started with madness right there. But yeah, so we're in captivity still, man. Going through this whole thing. This man's still finding ways to rule over, to keep you captive. Y'all was holding, right? Yeah, I was holding. Right now,
This is Haggai chapter 1 and verse 5. Now therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, power of hosts, consider your ways. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink.
Yeah, this devil has it to where you just get just a little. And you wonder why Jake get to crime, because Jake knows that he ain't getting enough of what he needs. So he go out there and you know, he tries to, you know, maneuver through the system or try to navigate around the system.
Yeah, Jake is a goddamn, I gotta say, Jake is a goddamn magician. How they finagle bills month to month.
Oh man.
How the hell, how do you not have enough, but make it enough to keep going? Jake gotta stretch it out just to make it. When these other, they're not in trouble like these other, like Esau don't live like that, man. They living good. Yeah, you know? They pay. I see people come in and pay for shit that's just yeah. Well, matter of fact, give me 3 of those. Something that'll break Jake month, to fuck Jake whole month off. Esau go in there and buy 3 of them.
The motherfuckers buy shit by the boat.
You don't feel it, don't feel it.
You know? Speaking of the devil. Shall we? Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put into a bag with holes.
The holy fire. You can't hold on to money. That's why I was the spirit. I read that one earlier about how your money grows wings to fly away from it. You know? That's how the curse is upon us. The money grows wings and flies off. You never really get to hold on to it and prosper with it.
You got the cars coming.
Fly. Yeah, that's fly. Get ran over. That was it on that? Yeah. You got something?
It's like Proverbs 22. Proverbs 22 and 7. And it reads,
Yep.
the rich ruleth over the poor. So read up. Okay. It's Proverbs 22 and 7.
Damn.
The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender.
Hey, we don't have anything, any substance that we can lend to anybody. Matter of fact, go back to the curse and bring that out.
Oh yeah. I was thinking that.
And we are in debt. We're born into debt here.
Yep.
You take on the national debt. You're a debt slave, man. That's why our currency are debt notes.
44,
We're
22,
in debt,
28,
man.
44. 44.
It's Deuteronomy 28 and 44. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
Start up.
You know what? Go to 13 and then read, because that's the blessing. Read 13 because the 13 is a blessing and 44 is a curse.
It's Deuteronomy 28 and 13. And the Lord shall make thee, and the Lord Yahweh shall make thee the head and not the tail.
Yeah, we don't kept our end of the bargain. We don't follow the statutes, laws, and commandments, and do what the Heavenly Father told us. Right?
And not the tail, and thou shalt be above only,
Yep.
and thou shalt not be beneath, if thou hearken unto the commandments of the Most High thy power, which I command thee this day to observe and to do them.
We didn't do that. We'll jump back here. Start up at 41.
It's 41, Deuteronomy 28:41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt.
That's the only thing that you're truly supposed to own. Okay? Your children. If you don't own anything in this life, if there's nothing that you can say on earth that didn't come, that you should have complete control over, ownership of, but your children. That's the one thing that you should have complete ownership and control over. All right, that's the one asset that comes solely from you and the woman that you created it with. Right? Go ahead, Al.
Continuing. But thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity.
They go into the same captivity you already involved in. They get the same rules and boundaries and everything else that you deal with. Come on.
All thy trees and fruit of thy land shall the locust consume. The stranger that is within thee.
That's also an analogy right there. All the trees, all the fruit that's supposed to come from whatever you plant or whatever you set up and pay the dividends of the rest of it, guess what? You're not gonna get to prosper off it. You plant the seed to grow these trees and do all this. You don't get any prosper. You don't get to eat the fruit of your labors. No substance from it. Something else comes and takes your substance. Okay, go ahead, Al.
Let's continue. It's 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee, very high,
Yep.
and thou shalt come down very low.
Yep, because this is the curse and not the blessing. Go ahead.
He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
Yep. Destroyed, man. Following after this devil now. He rules over us, he lends to us, and we can't lend to him ever. We can't even lend our. Hey, $20 breaks up families, man. You can lose a family member for $20. This nigga still ain't paying me back.
Let a family member die and watch,
some dead.
and some money's distributed to the family, tear the family apart.
Yep.
Yeah. Sometimes they gotta
Or they got
to get donations
Yeah.
to bury that
Car
person.
washes and shit.
They can't even afford to bury them.
Bury them.
yeah. Or they have a house and then
They gotta sell it.
yeah.
Was that movie Soul Food?
Yeah.
Big money.
The bougie sister, what was her name?
I know it was played by, what's her name?
Vivica Fox played her.
Not Vanessa Williams.
Vanessa
character.
Williams, yes, I was
I
saying.
can't think of her
Forget
name.
her. Was it Terry or something
Terry,
like that?
that's Terry. That's
She was like, yeah, we just gonna sell the house. And they was like, what? You sell a
I was
house?
selling Big Mama house, and she was like, "Who the fuck supposed to pay for it?"
Yeah.
Well, we thought you and
It was her. They thought she was gonna pay for it. She was like, "No, I'm tripping." It just shows you the turmoil.
And they was ready to choke out Lil Hamad because
Yeah.
he was telling them about how much money
Oh, yeah.
The grandmama left and shit. And they was like, so what about this? Because they was all fucked up and split. But then when he started telling them about money that she got, now all of a sudden, oh, what? So, okay, so what time you want us to be at Sunday dinner?
yeah.
Because nobody was fucking with nobody.
They all good,
You know? But then when they found out there was an inheritance left, now they want to get together and shit. They eat, and then next thing you know, so what was that money that she was talking about? Ahmad?
Good thing for Uncle Pete.
Good thing Uncle Pete, he like, shit, I got this motherfucker right
I
here.
got the TV.
That's how you...
And I always thought that analogy was cold-blooded, man. It hit the money. Grandmama hit it where she loved most, the TV. And she hit it in the TV.
Yeah.
The shit that destroys you fucking jakes, man.
Yeah.
Destroyed the damn family. The money was destroying the family.
Yep.
You know, because of what the brothers read.
Because when it's so scarce to us, we'll kill each other to get $1 out of it, man.
Yeah.
Something that's gonna further keep you in debt.
But Esau, he leaves a straight up inheritance, man. He'll leave a stake to a CEO position to a certain multi-billion dollar company.
Yeah,
man.
Esau makes sure before he died that his right hand man, you know, that he looks over his son before his son takes over the business, man.
Esau has wheels.
Yeah,
Jake ain't got no wheel. Living wheel, living trust, and all that shit.
And, somebody can get Psalm 17 and 14.
You see, got something?
Yep.
Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest.
Beautiful, that's the spirit. That's the second, that's the first scripture we read today.
Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction.
Yep. Hey, trying to live life in this country is only going to destroy you. Trying to earn this money is going to destroy you. You see how, because Esau pushes that mentality, Jake grabs onto it so much that for the love of money, spirit. Okay, so Jake was robbed, steal, and killed for money because they don't have it. So they'll do whatever it takes, sell their soul, whatever, to try to make it. And now there's only the path to destruction laid before you. Okay, brings us full circle back to what we began talking about. The ways of this world is only going to destroy you the more you stay in tune with it. You got to get into the tune of your Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Psalm 17 and 14. From men which are thy hand, O Yahweh, from men of the world, which have their portion in this life, and whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure, they are full of children, and leave their rest of their substance to their babes.
Yep. The inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever. So they keep passing generational wealth on down, on down, on down. And they actually make it better for them to come after.
Yeah.
Jake leaves debt. Somebody died, it's not like, okay, well, they at peace. Well, everybody else just took on something heavy.
The elites pass it down because they know about reincarnation.
Right.
And they know they're going to get it.
You got to keep making it, because when I come back again, I want to live it up.
That's why the apostles believe that the Borgiers, you know, and the Borgiers was more than likely the Herods. So they just keep coming back in their same lot, man.
Yeah.
To their inheritance.
And those the Rothschilds and those rich elite families, the women in the family have to marry one of their cousins or uncle or something. It's wicked to keep that money in the family. And if they do marry out, they don't get no bread.
So by accident they fuck around and marry a Jake, a confusion or scattered Jake, and now the whole line is passed on to another nation.
Yeah.
Now they're gonna keep it right here in this tight circle. That no matter what, it's only gonna be one of us being born out of this that inherits this money, keeping their race pure, in a sense, you know. Keep passing it around. They'll throw a funny face in somewhere, but they keep passing it back onto their own same spirits that come back in the flesh.
That's why you always keep hearing about the same 13 families, man.
Yeah.
You know, like and all those families are all related. The Bushes, the Clintons, all the motherfuckers are related. They all have a relation that goes back to the Rothschilds, you know.
What's that vice president? Cheney is deep within the connection of the 13.
Obama too, through his mama.
Yep.
You know,
they're all tied.
That's why it's always the same string of presidents that has rule over Babylon, man.
And we just made it the bloodline. We ain't even put in the fact that they keep going back to this to these Masonic rites, certain degrees to be there. You gotta be a 33rd degree Mason. And Jake, show me a Jake that's made the 33rd degree. You know, it ain't gonna happen. Because if you get up that high, you might have control of some shit to get up that high.
Yeah, man. So I mean, really, all that's going to happen is, like it tells you in Job, the 20th chapter, all the riches, all of everything that they do own, they're going to vomit it up, and the people who rightfully owns that, they're going to receive that, which are the Israelites, man. Everything that this devil has, really, it belongs to us. But because we're in prison, we don't have access to it. You know? So they're running our possession while we're in confinement of our prison sentence. But when Yahushua comes to break us out of prison, we're going to get that claim back to what's rightfully ours, man. All right? All you doing, all these riches that you have, you just hoarding it up, basically for it to be given to the meek of the earth. That's why going to, was that Psalms 37, it says not to fret yourself because of it. You know? Yeah, it seems like they're prospering, but don't envy them. You know? Yep.
Isaiah 37 at the top, fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity.
Yep.
For they shall soon be cut down like the grass, and wither as the green herb.
Read that again.
Top.
Yeah.
Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity.
Envy not thy oppressor and choose none of his ways.
Yep.
All right. Don't try to go in his way to try to prosper, because all it's going to do is lead you to destruction, man. All right. They're given this portion in this world. The Lord ruleth for the kingdom of men. He gave this inheritance to him. Hey, you got to be spiritually. Think spiritually. Isaac gave that to him.
Yep.
Who was Isaac in reincarnation? That's the Lord. If you can receive it, she gonna get it. Them spirits, man. Fuck. You know, but hey, Yahushua ultimately gave Esau his inheritance, man. When you read in the New Testament, don't it not say that Yahushua, he the one that made the principalities, the dominions, you know? Colossians, the 1st chapter. So really, Yahushua, he's, hey, you know, the Most High set this up, man. So we can't really envy that. We got to go through our punishment. But what the Lord's getting ready to give us is far greater than this BS, man. It's all polluted anyway. That's why it says, this is not your rest. All right? This shit is all temporary, man. Go ahead, Doc. You got a precept?
I got a precept.
Go ahead.
Sirach chapter 41, verse 6. The inheritance of sinners' children shall perish, and their posterity shall have a perpetual reproach.
Oh man. So really, when they get brought down, their generational posterity is going to be left to perpetual curses.
Yep.
All right?
And you can almost
It's
say
going to
that
be just
now.
perpetual. They're going to be just like how they keep leaving wealth out, you know, from generation to generation. When the kingdom comes, every time they're born, they're going to be born just like how we were born.
Yep. Isaiah 14 and 21.
Huh. They're going to be born into captivity. They're going to be getting their heads whipped. They're going to go into slavery. They're going to own shit. You know? They're going to go through it, man, just like we went through.
And you know what? They're going to know off the top why they in that situation. Like, you know, for a while, we didn't know.
The children will complain of an ungodly father.
Hey, just like we complained of, going back to Baruch the 3rd chapter. We're suffering, we're yet this day in our captivity, suffering.
Malachi the 1st chapter also.
Yeah, we suffering for what? For what our forefathers did.
Wherein have the Most High loved us?
Yeah. We understand that our fathers fucked up. And we know that in the reincarnation we are our forefathers, man. That's why as a nation we catching hell, man. So Esau is gonna have to get with the program too. You Rothschilds, y'all understand reincarnation. So when y'all when y'all go into slavery, and then you know y'all have y'all dying date, you come back them generations later, you should already understand what the time is, man. You already know what the deal is. All right, you owe that. You know you owe that. All right, go ahead.
The children will complain of an ungodly father, because they shall be reproached for his sake.
Exactly. Exactly, man. They're gonna be reproached for his sake, because they're gonna have to pay for everything that they've done.
She ain't that off.
You know?
Cigarette demon got
Yeah.
But she could, hey, they can channel different types of demons.
Yeah.
She got legions on her.
She shot fight for a second.
It's like they can snap into normal just for a brief second to feed whatever demon is. You know? Oh, damn.
Another demon took
So another demon was like, fuck that cigarette.
Other demon said,
Hey, watch, some Jake's gonna see it, he's gonna pick it up.
other demon said, I don't smoke no can cigarettes.
Hey, that's fucking scary.
I don't even know, man. Yeah, that's exactly.
I mean, it's not to laugh at, but
Yeah, real.
It ain't
Fuck.
good.
It's funny an idea, but when you think about what's really happening, that curse is smited with madness, it's real.
Yeah.
Hey, and if you fall out
Nigga, the
this
heart.
truth, if you coming in this truth and you ain't your foundation ain't set, that could be you.
Come.
That could be you.
give me give me any plague but the plague of the heart.
Yeah, the mind, man.
I can't. You can't live like that, man. That's
Fucked up.
torment. That's pure torment.
Somebody else is reading right now?
Oh,
I'm done.
You done?
I got something.
Go ahead.
Then we'll start with verse 11. This is Sirach 11 and 11. It says,
Yeah, I like this guy.
there is one that laboreth and taketh pains and maketh haste, and is so much the more behind. Again, there's another that is slow and have need of help, wanting ability and full of poverty. Yet the eye of the Lord Yahweh looketh upon him for
Hey, go
good.
back to Psalms 37 too.
Wanting ability and full of poverty. Yet the eye of the Lord Yahweh looked upon him for good, and set him up from his low estate, and lifted up his head from misery, so that many
Hey,
that saw it.
That's like the Most High taking Lazarus and
Yep.
cleaning him up,
Exactly.
cleaning the sores off of him,
Yeah.
you know, and basically putting him in the position of the rich man.
Yeah, trading places that he might
Trading
be
places,
dead
man. Lazarus trading places with the rich man. You know, that's Jacob switching places with Esau, man.
Right.
Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning that follows it. You know. Go ahead.
It says verse 14, prosperity and adversity, life and death, poverty and riches come from Yahweh.
Yep.
Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the law are of the Lord Yahweh. Love and the way of good works are from him. Error and darkness had their beginning together with sinners, and evil shall wax old with them that glory therein. The gift of the Lord Yahweh remaineth with the godly, and his favor bringeth prosperity forever. There is that waxeth rich by his weariness and pinching, and this is the portion of his reward. Whereas he saith, I have found rest, and now will I eat continually of my goods. But yet he knoweth not what time shall come upon him, and that he must leave those things to others and die.
Hey, going back to the parable of Lazarus and the rich man.
Uh-huh.
You used to have you was the master that sat at the table that would, waste crumbs so that the poor, the dogs, come and eat from it. But now you below those dogs now,
Yeah.
and now Lazarus is sitting at the table now.
Like what Job
And,
said.
you know, who Abraham's bosom?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Meaning now we're in consolation. You're not in consolation.
Yeah.
You're in torment now. Now he lifted up his eyes in torment, and he wanted Lazarus to come over and
Drop a,
Dip his fingertip in water.
drip of water to water his tongue.
That's to ease the
affliction.
Affliction.
Pain.
kind.
And we know that these devils, they're affliction proof.
Yeah.
Like they can't handle any type of adversity at all, man.
Can't even handle the weather, bro.
Either they shoot up a spot or they shoot themselves.
Or jump off a building.
You know? One of
Hey,
those
that's
two.
what that movie. That's the movie Cut.
Cut is about, yeah. take violence in your own hands and take the country back, or allow yourself to continue to be destroyed.
Like, you can see Esau just crying, like America, like everything that my forefathers did just for these niggers to take over. And you can see Esau just losing his mind, man. Hey, and Jake don't even own this place. It's still ran by the elites. It's just the fact that Jake, it looks like Jake has a sense of power here now.
But all they really have is and they don't even have cultural influence. They just have whatever Jake gravitate to that Esau puts out there for Jake. When Jake actually gravitates onto it, it becomes a big thing in the earth.
Yeah, Jake excels at it.
Yeah.
Just the last little bit of this. It says, be steadfast in thy covenant and be conversant therein and wax old in thy work, meaning the righteousness. So marvel not at the works of sinners, but trust in the Lord Yahweh and abide in thy labor, for it is an easy thing in the sight of the Lord Yahweh on the sudden to make a poor man rich. Yep. Let me read 25. In the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction, and in the day of affliction, there is no more remembrance of prosperity. Yep. And because that's what we're talking about. You're thinking that your ways seem right unto a man, but in thereof the ways of death. You thinking the way that you're following of this world will prosper, but not knowing that the Heavenly Father, when you push His business, He'll bless you because it all comes from Him. Okay, that's the differences. But you want to follow after this wicked ass white man, and in particularly, he wants to just rule so he only can prosper in this world.
That was it.
Yeah, that was it.
Go ahead.
This is Job 20 and 19. Because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor, because he hath violently taken away an house which he built not. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desired. There shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his
He's
good.
insatiable. He's never satisfied. Okay? That's why his belly will never be quiet.
In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High Yahweh shall cast the fury.
You know, that it said every hand of the wicked.
Yeah, that's what I was going
Yeah, okay, you already, yeah, kind of. Go ahead, bro.
That's us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean, because that's a mistranslation. It doesn't mean an actual wicked person.
We're going to torment. Torment those people.
Yeah. Job 20 and verse 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. I mean, he's going to be in a position of difficulty. It says, every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. The Hebrew word for wicked is aimal, and it says a laborer. That is a misery had taken labor, wicked workman. A laborer, sufferer, wretched one, laborer, workman, toiling. And what was we talking about? The labor that Jake put into the society that built this place up and contributed to this man's empire that made him so fucking rich. You know, and it's like, well, you gonna continue to live off of that? No, that's gonna be required of you, man. You know?
Call himself rich.
Con.
Hey, because this devil has everything in this society built all the way up. From what, look, there's something that there's rule books written on how to build this road. You know, when they first got over here, none of this shit was here. But they established society on such a level that even the minds of the people are right in line with everything that's supposed to happen. He has all that to be required of him, okay? Because he ruled from that perspective in wickedness.
look up the word wretched in the Webster's Dictionary, and it says deeply afflicted, dejected, or distressed in body or mind. Extreme.
Like when you're distressed, you kind of like you're suffering from anxiety. You know, you got all type of worries and cares. What they call that when you know exhaustion. When you're so fucking you're overworked, so you're so damn tired. You're stressed out. You can't never really rest. You realize everything that you're doing, all of the wages that's coming from that you ain't even pocketing that, man. It's going straight into his pockets. You know, it's just imagine if
his pocket before it hit your pocket.
you just imagine if.
I got a question.
What's up, man?
In Amos 3, I think it's 3 and 9, it says that Israel, no other race. Wait a minute, God only knows Israel out of all the families of the earth.
Amos 3.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 and 2.
Okay, so that means that no other race should be teaching the word of God, basically, right?
Technically, yeah.
Only Israel is supposed to teach the word of God.
Yeah, they're serving as the prophets.
Okay, and I got another question.
Those are the people.
Those are the Israelites.
Yeah, I know that. But the thing is, in Amos, it also says that Israel looks like the Ethiopians.
Yeah, meaning they kind of they
So
favor,
how can
they favor the Ethiopians.
All
Meaning
of
they're-
them,
they're-
all Israelites and all Jews are black people,
No,
according to the Bible.
no, it's not.
Who else is it? I mean, no other races, no other. I mean, all them people, according to the Bible, are black.
Well, if you
But
look
you
at
think
all
they were
those
just gonna
groups,
look one way for
Yeah,
many
that's why it
millenniums?
it says Israel looks like. It says Israel looks like.
Jeremiah 12.
Yeah,
And also,
this is-
somebody get Isaiah 61.
It's Jeremiah.
We'll answer you, man.
Jeremiah 12 and 9, mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird.
yep.
Right?
The birds round up.
What does it mean when something is speckled?
They got speckles on.
It means it's variegated
Okay, well,
in color.
if you read Amos, I think it's Amos 3.
We just read the precept.
What-
It
what-
means it variegated in color. The scriptures also tell you Ephraim is a cake not turned.
But
Right?
I beg to differ, because if you go to Genesis, where it says that a mixed multitude left with the children of Israel. So how can
And they died off in the wilderness too.
what do you mean? They died off. Who died off?
The mixed
The
multitude.
mixed multitude.
The mixed multitude was not. The mixed multitude went with the Israelites.
Yes.
So
Israelites.
how could
Basically, the Egyptians left out with the Israelites when they went into the wilderness.
Okay. All right. Well, I gotta go, but
Yeah,
man,
we know,
that
we know, we
just don't sound right, because
Well, let us answer your question.
no other body is under the curse of Israel. No other race can say they're under the curse of Israel.
I know
All those people
are.
Yeah, but look, only as far as I know, only so-called Negroes are under that curse.
We better look closely.
Okay, wait,
on
select-
this.
select-
I mean, I
Who lives next
understand all
door?
that.
Wait. Who lives next door to the Negroes? Don't the Hispanics live next door?
just
Don't the
like you said,
Hispanics live next door?
They're gonna come up among us.
Hold on, listen. If the blacks or the Negroes, whatever, live in the projects, don't the Hispanics live in the barrios?
But they don't fall up under the curse.
You're
How
not
come they
listening.
don't?
You're not listening. Don't they?
When
You're
is
not
that
listening.
When
You're
have
not
they
listening.
ever put on slave
You're not
ships
listening. They
and
came
sold
here
females
before
as
us.
slaves?
You know how many books we got back?
Man,
You gotta learn history.
I might have to. I may be wrong.
you are
I may be
wrong.
wrong.
Totally
But I gotta do more research.
yeah,
But
you
it's
gotta
kind of hard
push
for me
Right.
to say it, because
Bro, I
you say
got that.
Indians
It should be.
and
It's
Mexicans are
obvious.
They shipped
show you how
Native
obvious
American
it is.
Indians back to England and Europe
They was staying on
before
this-
Negroes even got
Before
here.
the Negroes got shipped
Yeah.
over here, these people, they got shipped to the
Hey,
other
bro, I'm
side.
right here. I'm right here. This is from the book The Other Slavery
Look at that.
by Andres Resendez. This is page 23 and page 24. And it says, San Jorge de Mina was still far from becoming one of the most important slaving depots of West Africa, the infamous Elmina, as it was known in later centuries, a corruption of the original Portuguese name, where the slaves for the New World were kept before crossing the Atlantic, But even in the early days, Columbus could observe how a European stronghold on another continent could thrive by trading a variety of products, including humans.
Okay,
One second.
I have to check that out.
1 second. Yeah, you do.
He's giving it to you right now, though.
Okay.
There is little doubt that the admiral of the Ocean Sea intended to turn the Caribbean into another Guinea. Early in his second voyage to the America, Columbus sent dozens of Carib Indians back to Spain with the first returning ships.
And guess what they were saying? Hey, we
Okay.
got people over there that will work to bring the stuff back over here. Matter of fact, we
I
need
could be
better
wrong.
people.
What's the US? It's more.
Have you heard of Henry Bowie?
Who's that?
You heard of Israel of God? No. Go online and look up Israel of God, Henry Bowie, because he only teaches that. Because I mean, they have to fall up under the curse. But if the Bible backs that up, I believe it.
They do.
Yeah, the Bible backs up. The Bible backs up that sign.
I mean, I know what this is.
Reality will show you. I was trying to explain to you. If we live in the projects, what's the name of the projects that the Hispanics live in? The barrio or the favelas in other countries.
Who's the jail spill?
The Native Americans. Let me say it. The Native Americans.
And
And who else?
I mean, there's a lot of Mexicans.
It's them half and half.
But we're both. And the people that call themselves Jews now, with the Edomites, they're supposed to be the Jews now. They're not real Jews. They're Edomites. Y'all know that.
We know that.
Okay, I gotta go, but man, peace be with y'all.
What are the natives projects called? The reservation. We're all under the same curses.
Go do some research, brother.
Hey, you black-only Israelites gonna be killed, man.
Oh man.
Y'all gonna be killed, man. The Lord is gonna kill you niggas, man.
With
Hey, because
pressed gray hair.
You're basically trying to cut off the whole northern kingdom, man. You know, thinking that it's only so if salvation is only for the three tribes, the southern nation,
Right.
then where does the rest of the 12? Where is the rest of the 12,000 out of the 9 tribes is coming from?
Yeah.
Hey, the Lord is gonna kill you niggas, man.
It's so obvious. You can for one, when you have a doctrine like that, it's obvious that you don't read. That's the
He
first
admitted it
obvious
himself.
thing.
I have to do more research.
Why
Well,
do
do
you-
your fucking research and then come back.
Yeah.
That's why the scriptures say not to profess the knowledge that you don't have.
Yeah. I just can't see.
Just ignorant.
Lay your hands on your mouth.
He was in ignorance, you know.
When you come here, shut your mouth and listen and learn
What's the
before
script?
you reveal that you're a fool. For the house of, in the house of God.
I mean, come on, man.
Yeah. It's easy. I mean, that's
It's too much out there.
That's a Google. You can answer that question in a Google. A Google will
And he
answer
came with the same weak argument all those BOI niggas come with.
Hamite only Israel.
Oh yeah. We only.
You gotta be a Hamite to be an Israelite.
Yeah, Hamite only. We the what do they say? We the Ethiopians, right? Oh, man.
They're like the Ethiopians.
Yeah, but that shows you how them bottles are, how old them bottles are, man. They bursted at the seams. How these young men answer your question in 3 minutes, in 3 different ways, but you still got to go back and do research, but it takes you that long. We can break it down to you that fast. And then it don't go right in. Hey, the brother said it, man. You people won't get destroyed for that, man. Because you're still looking for everything that you claim that this white man does. You do it, man. You tell that he's prejudiced because he looks upon the color of skin, but you look upon the color of skin as well. You don't know how to transcend your mind to a higher level to look inside the spirit of a man, discern the spirit of a man.
I got a print.
Toe gang. I love it.
1 Corinthians.
So I was gonna get Isaiah 61 because it says that how the seed of Israel will be
I'll bring it out right quick.
among the nations, man.
61.
That means that we intermingle with them. So Jake looked like everybody, but as far as these people on this sign, I mean, hey, you know, we always was the Most High always dealt with variety. He even said that his seed would spring forth a company or a multitude of nations, man. Each tribe in itself is a nation.
Time, bro.
You know?
Jake never want to share, man.
We're the only ones that is oppressed. Nobody else is
Right.
oppressed. We the only ones. That's a complex that Jake here in America developed, man. Because it's understandable because you catch the most hell out of everybody.
Yeah.
But still,
That
you're
don't mean nobody
not
else
the
is catching
only
hell.
one, man. You're not the only one.
And the next people that's catching the most are your brothers, man. The next two types of races of people, however you want to say it, are the two next in line for the most what's the word we using? The most what's the word we just said? Affliction. They catch the next most affliction.
Yeah, they don't own the land that they live in.
Yeah, this was their shit, and this got taken from them. Now they're slaves on it. How fucked up is that?
Who's been catching the most hell under Trump? You know?
Yeah.
And who's standing up for our people? Who's speaking up for our people?
Hey, that's in the scripture. Who will go to ask how thou do it? So who shall bemoan thee?
God.
O Israel.
Hey, ain't nobody standing up for our people, man. Our people are at the mercy of this devil, man.
Hey, your own Jake own people is looking down on them like, yeah, get the motherfuckers out of here.
God, yeah.
It's a car basically, and the other.
In Mexico, they was laying on the street everywhere because they know.
That's demons, boy.
What I
Spirits
tried.
is heavy. And the sun almost pull these incense out.
Let me see. What time is it? Damn,
Jeremiah
we got like 30 minutes.
15:33.
Shit.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go.
Yeah, man. All the tribes, especially here, we all are suffering the same oppression. We all have the same common enemy. You know, we still feel this man's prison industrial complex. All right, we still suffer. What's one of the main curses? Thy eye shall be evil towards the brother of thy bosom.
Yep.
You know,
That's mostly that's why you
the
can't
tribes
see.
at war with each other, man, not getting along.
Vexing.
That's what I was just about to quote, man.
Hey, that's what he
Just
did.
about to quote.
He vexed Ephraim, man.
Pretty much.
But it's the Northern Kingdom, man. Confusion trying to push out there that they're not a part of this thing, man. When they've been going through these curses this whole time too. Okay?
Hey, and you think about it, like going into the controversy of the Gentiles. Some of those Gentiles were of the Northern Kingdom.
Yeah.
And you better believe Judah was like, man, them was fucking heathens, man. Ain't our people. You know?
God, the same thing
Same
was
thing.
happening back then.
Same thing.
Same thing. Yeah.
Esau divided us and conquered us, man.
And this nigga is the one that's
Help them
furthering
divide
it, man.
Yeah, help them divide and conquer.
Hey, the same book that I just pulled out, it gives you the account of how Gad and Reuben was actually trying to
Help
Judah, man.
Fine, bro. Fine.
They were trying to help Judah during slavery. Not all of them, but a lot of them were.
Hey, and a lot of Judah that were running away, they were running away to Mexico, and the Mexicans, they took them in.
Yeah,
They
didn't oppress them.
Right.
They had an underground railroad to Mexico.
Yeah.
It wasn't. You always hear underground railroad. You always hear about going to the north.
Yep.
No, because they knew that slavery was illegal in Mexico.
And the indigenous people in Mexico, they took them in too because they themselves were being oppressed.
Yeah.
So they knew what it felt like.
And I want to say this, Salakia. I want to say this about it. You look at all the names of those tribes, there are dark-skinned people that darker than anybody standing up here. In all them tribes. In all them tribes. You know?
Like the brother he quoted the scripture, Ephraim as a cake not turned. He had mixed himself among the people. So that's why you're gonna have a Puerto Rican that looks like Noriega, but then you're gonna have another Puerto Rican that looks like Fat Joe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Our men, because they always like to say, well, all the light-skinned ones, their forefathers were Edomites that raped the women. But that's not always so. Yeah, that did happen. But on the other side,